From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, August 26th. Happy Friday. Maybe have some isolated showers possible to start the day. A lot of cloud cover, as you'll notice if you've been outside or as you walk outside. The rain's going to move out, and after it does, we're going to see fewer clouds out there, and another really warm afternoon is headed our way. It's going to be a little bit muggier out there, too. A little bit more uncomfortable, of course, that comes with it. Highs are set to rise into the mid-80s today, yes, accompanied by that higher humidity. A deadly crash on I-70 stalled traffic for hours overnight into the morning. If you were on the east side last night, you might have gotten stuck in this traffic. So the crash happened about 9:30 near Mount Comfort Road. NDOT confirmed to our news gathering partners at WIBC this morning that somebody did die. Crews then this morning, the traffic was still backed up even after the crash was cleaned because crews were having to go one by one to truck drivers who had gone asleep and they were still in that backup. They're having to go around and knock on windows and doors to wake up the drivers and say, all right, it's cleared. You can move on. We did see one semi still in the middle of the interstate around 6 o'clock this morning. Police haven't released the name of the person killed or what may have caused the crash. So as soon as we get those details, we'll share them on wishtv.com. And today, Greenwood Police and Clark Pleasant community school leaders say that they're going to offer new information to the public regarding the shooting at a school bus stop yesterday morning. So word of the crime scene first broke during daybreak yesterday. Since then, police identified the victim and made an arrest after an hours-long manhunt. There was a helicopter searching from the skies, police on the ground. Police tell us that 16-year-old Tamario Stokes Jr. lived 3 doors down from where he was shot and killed at that bus stop. Greenwood Police arrested 18-year-old Tyreek Radford L. on a preliminary charge of murder. He's in the Johnson County Jail now. Investigators say Tamario was waiting for the bus with several other students just before 7 yesterday morning. Police say someone wearing a black hoodie got out of a car in the Summerfield neighborhood and shot Stokes multiple times. Authority used a helicopter and drones for several hours to find Radford L. That prompted nearby schools to go on lockdown. Greenwood Police say Tamario was specifically targeted, though haven't released any other details about the circumstances of the shooting. Officials are scheduled to talk with reporters at 11 o'clock this morning at the Greenwood City Center. We will have crews there, of course, and you can watch that as it happens on Wish TV, through our news app, and on wishtv.com. A welfare check turns into a standoff on the southwest side. Shots were fired at police officers. IMPD says officers responded to a home on Dollarhide North Drive just before 4 yesterday afternoon. There they saw a man at his door with a gun. Police say the man went back inside and then started firing at officers from the second story, hitting at least one patrol car. Negotiators got the man to surrender after several hours. He's now in custody at the Adult Detention Center. IMPD says nobody was hurt, and it's not clear what charges the suspect may face yet. A man is in custody accused of killing his estranged wife. Police say 30-year-old Marcellus Teasley is accused in the death of Lachelle Teasley. We first reported on the fatal shooting that happened on North Tuxedo Street, had it as breaking news Wednesday morning on Daybreak on Wish TV. Police say Marcellus Teasley refused to surrender to investigators and barricaded himself inside the home. They say he then surrendered once a SWAT team arrived. Police believe the shooting was caused by a domestic dispute between the two. A new report from the National Transportation Safety Board says severe weather may have caused a deadly plane crash that happened earlier this month. The plane took off from southern Indiana and crashed in West Virginia on August 11th, killing all 3 people on board. According to NTSB investigators, the plane flew through rain and extreme precipitation, and the pilot had even asked an air traffic controller about adjusting the flight path in the minutes before the crash. The preliminary report did not indicate any mechanical issues with the plane. NTSB says a final report will likely be released in 12 to 18 months. Today, the Justice Department will release a heavily redacted document explaining why the FBI searched former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. A federal judge ordered the release by noon. The document is a redacted form of an affidavit the FBI submitted to a judge so it could obtain a search warrant. Affidavits typically contain vital information about a criminal investigation and spell out why investigators will find evidence of a potential crime. Documents already made public show the FBI recovered 11 sets of classified documents at the estate earlier this month. They show the FBI is investigating potential violations of 3 different laws, including the Espionage Act. The identities of witnesses, details about the investigation strategy, and grand jury information will remain sealed today. In the war in Ukraine, fire damage temporarily knocked Europe's largest nuclear power plant offline. Ukraine's nuclear power agency says the plant was cut off because fire damaged the last regular transmission line that was running. Ukraine's president says the plant had to turn on its emergency backup generators, and he blamed Russian shelling for the damage. Russian forces have occupied the plant since the early days of the war, but it's still being run by Ukrainian workers. Ukraine accuses Russia of holding the plant hostage. Moscow says Ukraine is recklessly attacking the plant. To business headlines, Indiana will receive an additional $99 million in federal American Rescue Plan funds to invest in new and existing small businesses over the next 10 years. Indiana Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers said the money will inject critical funding and resources into our ecosystem of current and future entrepreneurs, startups, and small businesses that are solving global challenges, creating new technologies. Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chair, provides an update today on the economic outlook that could detail how the central bank is thinking about inflation and the path ahead for interest rates. Investors grasp for any hint at what might come next for the Fed, which has been raising rates rapidly to fight inflation. And the IRS is set to start spending its $80 billion budget by hiring people to answer the phone. The agency says beefed up enforcement will take time. So for now, the IRS will use the money to hire customer service representatives. Construction costs may escalate 14% this year, but relief is expected soon. Since the onset of the pandemic, record high construction costs and delays have plagued the development and home building industries. And while pricing has recently started to moderate, relief likely won't be felt until next year. Oscar Mayer's latest treat is a hot dog flavored popsicle. The idea stems from a social media campaign that received thousands of likes. It's called the Cold Dog. Very clever, right? But it sounds disgusting. Indianapolis Animal Care Services wants to clear the shelters tomorrow. The agency is holding a pet adoption event from 10 to 5 at its Harding Street shelter. Organizers ask that you just submit a pre-adoption paperwork before you go. The shelter's been on emergency intake status since February because of overcrowding. And Greek Fest kicks off in Carmel today. It starts this afternoon at the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Cathedral. There'll be food, menus with gyros, feta fries, Greek salad. There's dancing, cooking demonstrations, cathedral tours, games, a lot more. It runs all weekend today from 4 to 10, Saturday from 11 to 10. Parking is $5, but admission is free. Tomorrow, Hagerstown welcomes home its baseball team from the Little League World Series. The town's planning a parade and autograph signing party on Main Street. It will start at the elementary school at 2 in the afternoon and end at the Little League ballpark. The team ended its Little League World Series run on Tuesday this week. Hagerstown is the first team to represent Indiana in the Little League World Series since 2012. And the Indianapolis Indians play the Rochester Red Wings in a long homestand games this weekend. The team has an exciting lineup of activities off the field, too. So tonight is Faith and Fellowship Night. The team chaplain will be there. Some players will share their stories of their path to their religion and their story there, kind of their testimonies. And then Saturday is the last Marvel night of this season. It is all Loki themed. There are really cool Loki jerseys. There's also a comic giveaway for the first 2,500 fans. I've read it. It's super cute. And then Sunday, Colts players are going to be there. Kenny Moore II and Yannick Ngakoue will sign autographs from 12:30 to 1. And they'll also send out the ceremonial first pitches. Also, they're going to be there before the game doing some batting practice. So you'll see how they can go from the football field to the baseball diamond. If you can't make it to the game, but you want to watch it, you can watch it on Wish TV. First pitch is at 1:30. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.